Next thing I want to talk about is, see here, edited videos, posture. What did we talk about? So one of the things Rene talks about is sitting. And basically what he says is, you want your legs to be coming out at a 90-degree angle. I would rephrase that slightly as you want your legs to be, and your posture to be relaxed. If your legs are way the heck out here, or if you're tucking them in and you're really tense, or if you're leaning in one direction, that's not the way you want to be. You want to take that relaxed posture from the relaxation chapters and bring it to the chair and maintain it. And so there's kind of a couple ways you can do that. One, if the chair is adjustable, like a piano chair, you can adjust it up and down so that your legs aren't too high or your legs aren't too low. If, for example, the chair is too high, one of the things Rene suggests is using something like 2 footstools to bring the legs up so that your legs are at a 90-degree angle coming out from your hips and your body. The other thing that you can do is use the edge of the chair. So when you sit on the corner of a chair, there's a couple benefits from this. One, you'll have to try it. It's like when you're sitting on the corner, and by the corner I mean like not straight on with the chair, but on the corner like this, you get a couple benefits. One is that now you kind of can let your legs be out freely from the chair, like they're not making any contact. You have more room to move this way or this way. There's just a lot of freedom playing on the edge of the chair. It's actually why I use a drum stool, because it's sort of has a lot of space in the back for your butt and hips, but as it comes in, it kind of curves like what you're trying to get from this chair. So when I practice on a drum stool. For lack of a better word, the drum stool starts to come in. It's like fat on the back, and then it curves in underneath the crotch, and then kind of comes out. And so that gives your legs some space. The other thing too is that you can set the bottom of the guitar on the chair, and that can provide a means of support as well. And actually that reminds me of something when we were talking about positioning that I need to mention. Well, actually, we'll get to this when I talk about my posture and why I do what I do. So one thing that Rene discusses in the video is that if you're, actually we already talked about that. So one thing that Rene talks about is the Carlavaro posture. The idea behind the Carlavaro is that, and you'll want to read his book and get his explanation of it. Basically, like, you kind of bring the leg down, and the idea here is, so as you bring the leg back, it gives you more room here. It kind of goes back to, like, here you're going to hit the right leg, whereas here it's going to give you a little bit more space, and then you let the right foot be up like this. I understand why Rene doesn't like that. I think it's workable, but there is some tension I'm getting here, and there's some disadvantages to it. It's worth your consideration. I've kind of gone in and out of using it sometimes, depending on where I'm sitting and how I'm sitting. One thing I'm noticing that I want to unpack in this is, like, as my leg is further forward, I'm feeling some tension in my back, and so I'm kind of adjusting until I get to a point where I feel relaxed. Now, this is a little bit unstable and that the foot is in the air, but it's not bad. It's workable. And I sometimes find that I like it and sometimes that I don't. But it lets you bring the body of the guitar closer to the body a little bit more because you brought this leg back. It's in Carlavaro's method. Rene said doesn't care for it or doesn't agree with it. I'll leave that up to you to decide.